Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So we are in Jnaneshwari Bhavartha Deepika, verse number 30, chapter 18, verse number 32, OV number 724. And last week or the last 2 weeks we have been looking at the buddhi, the intellect. We saw the sattvic buddhi, we saw the rajasic buddhi, and today we enter into the 32nd verse, which is uh, tamasic buddhi. The sattvic buddhi which was very clear, which knows when to act, when not to act, what what is required to be done, not what you like to do. This I explained at that time. Nowadays people like what they want to do, or they want to do what they like, and sattvic buddhi does what is required to be done, and what is right, that needs to be done, and that way, and or to be done, not to be done, the cause of fear and fearlessness. Only the fear comes because of our desires, because of our likes and dislikes. Whatever I dislike, if I dislike a snake and it comes, I will be afraid of it, isn't it? Fear. Rather than, so our point is that we need to become fearless. So what is the disposition of our intellect? See, so that buddhi which is committed to doing what is right is able to discriminate, whereas in contrast to that, the rajasic, that by which one knows wrongly what is right and what is wrong. Huh? Wrongly, he is still knowing what is right and wrong, but from the wrong source. Like for so many years, so many decades, or centuries, 2 centuries, we have been hoodwinked that Indians are, or our Sanatan Dharma is Aryan, and Aryans came from Central Europe. That theory doesn't stand today, but that was a concocted idea to show that the Europeans, the fair-skinned people are superior. Only they are knowledgeable. How can brown people be knowledgeable? So that was their inferiority complex, which made them come up and brainwash the entire generation of people. Not one or two, so many. Even now the people are following that. See? So, still right and wrong. Our system never considered the caste system the way it is considered, the society is considering it now. Why? Who introduced it? The Britishers introduced it. Rajasic buddhi. Divide and rule, Rajasic buddhi. Create casteism, Rajasic buddhi. Instead of seeing how each varna is an integral part of the society, and to make a cohesive society. No. Yeah, uh, you are being looked down upon, you are not allowed, and create andolan, rajasic buddhi. So that which by which one knows wrongly what is right and wrong. So the praman is itself the wrong. What is one's duty and what is not, that intellect, O Partha, arises from the rajas quality. If I go as a sannyasi, if I go to a grahastha and I ask him, please tell me what is right and wrong, should I get married or should I not get married, what will be his suggestion to me? Sannyas, there is nothing like that. Leave it. Enjoy life. What is life without a wife? And after marriage, what a life because of a wife. Many you have come across many examples in your life in Australia. People having domestic trouble, husband and wife relationship trouble, they go to counselors. And who are the counselors here in Australia? Majority of them are themselves divorced. Do they want you to come together or they are hell bent on separating you? Simple. See, we have said, I am a sannyasi, but I have saved so many marriages without charge. Not that I saved it, they came and I showed them where they are going. We just discussed and they found where they were going wrong without me telling anything. But you go to a counselor. A long time ago, about 15 years ago, one Muslim lady came in burqa and all. She said, Swami, and I don't know I can't remember where she was from. She says, I don't want to go to the counselor. They want me to separate from my husband. And therefore I am talking to you. See? So what is that counselor? Does she have all the information? Does she have the scriptural strength? What is her data? Her data is her hatred towards the man she divorced. Her dislike for the man she divorced. See? And with that data and some certain other psychology and all they study, and with that data they are guiding any people who are coming to them. Is our intention so Rajasic Buddhi is deciding right and wrong based on wrong information. And also what is one's duty and one's is not. We read the Bhagavad Gita, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Guru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. But you all know this, but all of you get stuck at Matru and Pitru. आगे कोई जाता ही नहीं. Nobody goes forward. It's a ladder of rise. Every child who is born begins with for him mother is God. As he becomes 7-8 years old, then father is God for him. Once he goes to the Gurukul or the school, the teacher is God for him, and the teacher technically should teach him that every person whom you come in contact with is God. So we all studied Bhagavad Gita, but where are we stuck? Me and my children, me and my parents, me and my grandchildren. This is Rajasic Buddhi. Wrong conclusions about right and wrong. Isn't it true that we have to follow our duty? The, the Rajasic fellow is not averse to performing duty, but his assessment of duty, his assessment of actions, his assessment of right and wrong itself is defective because it's coming from the wrong source. You understand? He is not averse to activity. He is not averse to perform, put efforts. Rajasic means efforts. He is ready to put efforts, but he is putting it wrongly. Don't we put wrongly? Even after listening to so many years of satsang, still we run after money, we still run after the relationship, still we want to achieve something in this world. Rajasic buddhi. Nobody can say you are a lazy person. Well, each one has to decide for themselves. Assess yourself. But have we become spirit oriented? Remember how these set of verses began? Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. So are we involvement oriented, involvement in the world, or are we withdrawal oriented? Are we spirit oriented? Are we God oriented? Or is there still an itch within us to do something in this world? See, performance in this world will never stop. Even after realization, your performance through the body in this world will not stop. Then what will stop? You being a doer will become null and void. That has to be brought about. And for that, the intellect has to be cultivated in a particular way. For that, these three verses are given: Sattvic Buddhi, Rajasic Buddhi and Tamasic Buddhi. Now let's see what Tamasic Buddhi is. Adharma dharma mitiya, adharma dharma mitiya, manyate tamasavruta, manyate tamasavruta, sarvarthan viparitanshcha, sarvarthan viparitanshcha, buddhi sa partha tamasi, buddhi sa partha tamasi. Together, adharma dharma mitiya, manyate tamasavruta, sarvarthan viparitanshcha, buddhi sa partha tamasi. This fellow is unique, the tamasic fellow. That which obscured by darkness mistakes the wrong to be right, and all matters in a perverted manner, that intellect, O Partha, arises from tamas quality. All that is right is considered wrong, and all that is wrong is considered right. This happens in lot of relationships where there is my right. I am a human being, and you are out there 50-50, everything in the house 50-50. And if the person says something, you misconstrue, then why they smiled, why they laughed. That person must be laughing at himself, but that other person feels it was a sarcastic smile, it was purposely for them. And then the reaction out of it, why did you do that? So when we told yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha, words do not reach the truth, mind cannot comprehend the truth. What is the understanding of the tamasic person? Then there is no point of studying the scriptures. Then there is no point of meditation. If I am not going to be able to know and experience the truth, then there is no need of meditation. See, Viparita, upside down understanding. Oh, all the Upanishads. What are Brahma Sutras? Brahma Sutras are addressing the contradictions in the Upanishads. The word Purusha is used in so many different ways. The meaning is taken according to the context in which it is appearing. Oh, so all the Upanishads are contradicting each other. Yes. Then why should I study? Why should I study contradictions? This is the approach of this tamasic person. Viparita understanding. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, Ani raza ziya vata jaye, te chorasi adav hoye, ka rakshasa divo pahe, rati houni. Nana vidhanaci nidaiva, hoye kod sayacha udava, पय असते आपण पे जीवा नाही झाले तैसे धर्म जात तितुके जिये बुद्धीसी पातके साचते लटिके ऐसेची बुझे ते आघवेची अर्थ करूनी घाली अनर्थ गुणते ते व्यवस्थित दोषची मानी किंबहुना श्रुती जाते अधिष्ठूनी केले सरते ते तुले ही उपरते जाणे जे बुद्धी ते कोणातेही न पुसता तामसी जाणावी पंडुसुता रात्री काय धर्मार्था साच करावी एवं बुद्धीचे भेद तिन्ही तुझ विशद सांगितले स्वबोध कुमुदचंद्रा. He says, just as a thief considers a highway as a byway, or the demon's day begins with nightfall, or an unlucky person foregoes treasure found by him as a heap of charcoal, so this intellect considers all religious acts as sins, and what is true and false, and what is true as false. So what is right, it considers it wrong. And think, as we were growing up, we had doubts about our own culture. Even today, so many people are not proud of their Sanatan Dharma. I remember I had so many doubts. But having gone and studied at the feet of a teacher, the renewed commitment to the Sanatana Dharma was ignited. The correct understanding. Before, from whom we were able to understand, we used to ask our parents the questions. They did not know why these things are happening, why they are doing what they are doing. And few so-called intelligent people who were within our community, you go and ask them, they also used to brush it away like that. Hey, all this is superstition. There is nothing like that. Why we blow a conch, I don't know. Why we light a lamp, I don't know. It's just a tradition. Then I don't need to follow it, right? It's a superstition. So this is the lot. Tamasic. And then conclude that all that we have been following, what our ancestors have been following, what our the entire parampara of 10, 20, 30, 40,000 years, they are all wrong. I am only right. See, instead our approach should be, intelligent approach will be, okay, I don't understand. Let me find a place where I will be able to correctly understand what is all this going on. Like nowadays, lot of priests, young kids, when they want to get married, they tell the priest, at least few kids that whom I have been to their marriages, they have asked the priest, please explain what rituals you are doing and what is the sequence and what is the meaning of it, so that we can appreciate the Saptapadi and the Feras, etc., etc., the Kanyadan process and all that. And it is, and once they know it, they appreciate it because now they know it. But before it was just a superstition, and because of superstition, okay, court marriage, that's it. Who wants to go and do all these things? There's nothing, it's only waste of money. It construes all rules of Shastras wrongly and considers all good qualities as defects. So, Shastras, I already told you, there are so many contradictions, so let's not read Shastras. All good qualities as defects. If someone is humble, a person will go and tell him, hey, don't be humble, don't be a doormat. Don't be a doormat, don't let everyone walk over you. They will give wrong ideas and put wrong ideas into there. And that's why you see the extreme is, just an example, the women's liberation movement. The lady who started the women's liberation in America, she's still alive or she passed away, I can't remember. But a decade ago, she gave an interview. I was wrong in my conclusion of starting that men and women are equal. As spirit, we are equal. But woman doesn't have to compete with man to wear pants and do things that man does. It is not possible. They have their own strengths, they have their own qualities, they have their own capabilities, which man doesn't have. And you see nowadays, especially in India, so many Indian lady CEOs are there. They don't wear pants and shirts, they wear their saris, they are perfectly feminine. I know one Punjabi lady in Sydney. She is a general manager of some bank. And she is a board of directors in one or two companies. Even if it is in Australia, she wears a sari and goes to work. She is proud of it. She wears salwar kameez and go. No, we have to compete. No, that is not right. That is not the way. To be feminine, see, all good qualities as bad qualities. So if a woman by nature is feminine and she considers femininity as a curse and wants to be manly, that's what all girls are doing nowadays. And the opposite is also true. This is the defect here in the tamasic buddhi. Because what you are convinced with, that alone, that will be your character, that will be your speech, that will be your actions. In short, whatever has the sanction of the Vedas is considered perverse by this intellect. In short, our praman, our support, our foundation, our dharma is Vedas. Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Brahma Sutras. And that intellect which does not accept the Vedas as the praman, does not accept the Chaturvarniya Samstha, meaning the Varnashram Vyavastha. What is that Varnashram Vyavastha? Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Based upon knowledge and action. So this is given in the Vedas only. So those who do not accept this, they are tamasic. So they follow the shunya. A cohesive society will not come about otherwise. Such intellect should be so whatever has the sanction of the Vedas is considered perverse by this intellect. See, Swami Dayananda, the Arya Samaj, it began. Why? Yeah, you may say it was the need of the time, blah 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 blah. But at that time, he went against all gods. Arya Samajis, they follow the rituals, but they don't go to do the puja of the gods. Only Havan. Now, in Treta Yuga, it was okay. Intellect was still sharp. In Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to not have a support without a form. Very difficult in Kali Yuga. Naturally, a human mind in the beginning stages needs a support with form. Eventually, then it moves to support with the sound. Then he can go beyond. But to take away the entire support system from from the people of the subcontinent. Why? Because he had problems in the childhood. That's why. But that was the prarabdha. He became a great person. He was able to convince. Same way the followers of Buddha were able to convince. Isn't it? What is that conviction? The followers of the nihilistic philosophy, they do not accept the Vedas. The Arya Samajis, they accept the Vedas, but they do not accept the God. And nowhere it is written in our Upanishads or anywhere else in our if you read the the Vedas, the first part is Brahmana, then Upasana, then Upanishad. Upasana is about gods only, no? What is Narayana Suktam? What is Durga Suktam? What is all this is Upasana only of gods. Who are you, born yesterday, to condemn what the Vedas are telling? This is my understanding, huh? If there is some correction, you make it. This is my understanding. Such intellect should be known as tamasic intellect without reference to anyone. How can a dark night be considered suitable for giving of alms? Such intellect, another error of such an intellect, such an intellect, tamasic intellect, if at all it wants to study something, it wants to study by itself. It doesn't want to go and sit at the feet of a teacher. Today someone called in the morning, Swamiji, can I call you? I was in a class. Afterwards I called him. I said, oh, I got this, there, something he was going on. And then he said, now I got a question. And what is that? What was it? He began like this. He says, if there is a person whose mind is not in control, I said, stop. He says, why? Why you are not allowing me to complete? I said, is it your problem or is it someone else's problem? Yeah, it is someone's. I come across people who have their mind which is not under control. How can they come? I said, you send them to me, I'll answer them. I will not answer this question to you. It is his problem. He doesn't want to own it. And when you answer his question, he says, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. Not ready to, but they want answers. I don't know where he uses those answers, somewhere else. God knows. Those, how can a dark night be considered suitable for giving of alms when we ourselves are zero? How can we can only give what we have, isn't it? If we are of a tamasic intellect, what will we give to others? We'll only create confusion out there. Look at the Indian politics. Or you who are like the full moon which opens up the lotus in the form of self knowledge. So here he says to Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, you are not like that. You are not of the tamasic intellect. Then who are you? You are like the full moon which opens up the lotus in the form of self knowledge. I have made clear to you the three types of intellect. Huh? Sangitale swabodha. So for swabodha you need the sattvic intellect. Arjuna has the sattvic intellect. He has the sattvic intellect. कार्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढचेतः यत् तस्य ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. The moment we are confused, like Arjuna, we must seek someone, some higher altar. Our Swamiji says, always in your life have someone where you empty yourself out completely. Whether it is your father, whether it is your God, whether it is your picture of the Lord in your altar, it is some temple when you think of it. It is your seat of meditation where you come, everything suddenly quietens down because of your regular practice at that particular place. Everyone must have one altar, one place where they surrender themselves. Only a very, very egoistic person will hesitate, and tamasic is the ultimate one. आताययाची बुद्धिवृत्ति निष्टंकिला कर्म जाती खांदू मांडीजे धृती त्रिविधातया तिये धृतीचे ही विभाग तिन्ही यथा लिंग सांगे जती चांग avadhana deyi. He says, now when this intellect decides to undertake any action, the steadiness which sustains it is also of three kinds. I shall now explain to you with their respective characteristics the three types of steadiness. Please give your attention. What is buddhi? Buddhi is like when you go for a drive. Suppose you have to come to Glen Waverley. You have decided which route you are going to take. You have decided what time you are going to start. You have decided that you want to be there 5 minutes before the class begins. And all that, your intellect has decided it, isn't it? That is buddhi. What is dhriti? Dhriti is to stay on the path that you had decided. So you got into the car, you saw the destination, you chalked out the route, you started on time, you got behind the car, you made sure that car was all right to go and drive. And once you get into the car and begin on the journey, now continuously you have to use the brake, you have to use the accelerator, you have to use the steering wheel, you have to keep correcting your what do you call align your car to the traffic that is around you. Continuously you have to negotiate and not get distracted by the destination. That which keeps you on the path which you have decided by following saints and sages, or by having come across it in the scriptures that ultimate goal is so and so, or whatever. In a short, here I am saying just coming to the satsang. So that which keeps you steady on the path until you reach the destination, that steadiness of purpose is called dhriti. Now find out what is that which is keeping you steady in the relationship after you decided that you want to get married. Dhriti. Huh? You decided that you are going to attend every Thursday or Friday, Wednesday or whatever days you have decided to attend the satsang. What is that which is going to keep you steadily keep yourself free and be available to the satsang at 7:25 and be free at that time with no distractions? Dhruti. But it's very easy. There's such a beautiful, wonderful movie coming on the TV. There's a good serial coming. Someone calls you on the phone. Hey, haven't spoken to you for a long time. How are you? And you are looking at the time. It's 7:29. And you are inside. You are wishing that this person stops, but you don't have the strength to say it. Dhruti. No, you have to be clear. Speaking, you can always give a call back. Otherwise, you are driving here. Someone says, hey, let's go for a movie. And suddenly the car turns towards the Century Walk and you go and watch a movie. Instead of satsang, you had a movie. Why? You got distracted. You were not steady on your purpose. So when we want success, you decided that you want to be many young people I meet, they want to have 2-3 properties before they are 40. And they see, oh, he's got a good job, he's made it 3, I also made 3, I want to make 4, I want to go 1 up, oh, he's driving a BMW, I also want to. अरे यही रह गया क्या life में? It's okay if you want it. Why I am not getting it? Why he is getting it? There is no dhruti. Two friends studying in the same school, coming out, one is a businessman, the other goes to a 9-to-5 job, and one day they get together and they discuss. And the one who is working from 9 to 5, a frustrated fellow. He is just, अरे तुमने तो बहुत पैसा बनाया है, कितना टेबल के नीचे से मिला? You know, just like as if every businessman is a corrupt only. But you are lucky. You are rolling in wealth. You fly everywhere. You have got Mercedes and BMWs. I go on my Vespa, you know. He says, no, it is the attitudinal problem. It is persistence. This dhriti is missing. I set a goal for myself. He says, tell me, how many days, how many hours do you work? He says, I go in the morning, I reach work at 9 o'clock, I finish at 5 o'clock, by 6:30 I am back home. What do you do after that? I watch some serials, this, that, everything. You want to know when my work starts and when my work ends? It only starts, it never ends. 24/7. I'm working for my business. I'm working for the benchmark that I have set for myself. For that I have sacrificed my health. I have sacrificed my family. Meaning I'm not available to them as much as I want to be. I have sacrificed my social circles. Yes, I meet every now and then, but the overriding purpose is I have to achieve in my business. That is the overriding. I cannot lose the vision for my business. Otherwise, everything will fall down in a heap. And for that, sometimes I don't even, I sleep 2, 3, 4 hours, that's all. So yes, I am successful and you are not. Why? You are wasting most of the time. Only 9 to 5 you are going to work, and tell me in a government department, how productive are you? I am 24 hours working. I got no day off. I got no weekends. If you put time like me, you will be successful also, you will make money also. Our Shirdi Sai Baba say, these are the two words, Shraddha Saburi. Saburi is patience. Patience is steadiness, perseverance. Without which no success is possible. When our Bhagavad Gita says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Abhyas means daily practice. Daily. Without a fail. No excuses. Dhruti. Let's see what Jnaneshwar Maharaj says here. Have we read this? Where are we? 33rd verse we have to start, right? Yeah. Dhrityaya dharayate mana pranendriya kriyaha yogena vyabhicharinya dhruti sa partha satviki. Together. Dhrutyaya dharayate mana pranendriya kriyaha yogena vyabhicharinya dhruti sa partha satviki. He says in the 33rd verse, that steadiness by which one upholds the activities of the mind, breath and senses by means of unfailing yoga, that steadiness, O Partha, arises from sattvic quality. See, what is our body, breath, mind, intellect, isn't it? What did we do before? Buddhi. Buddhi is intellect. What is left? Mana, mind, prana, and the indriyas, meaning the 5 sense organs and the 5 organs of action. That is at the body level. Who keeps them in check? That will depend on the strength of your sattvic buddhi. The more pure your intellect, the more pure. Once you have made the decision, yes. But then after you have made the decision, when I gave you that example of the car, you have made the decision to reach a destination. Now without any fluttering, without any anxiety, without any fear, without any distractions, negotiating the traffic, the challenges that are there on the journey from point A to point B, keeping a cool mind. And if some untoward experiences do happen when you are driving, but because of that you don't uh, uh, what do you call stop your journey, you continue. ठीक है यार, हो गया, अभी जाओ आगे बढ़ो, पहुंचना है टाइम पे. So that steadiness of the mind, that steadiness of the breath, that steadiness of the senses, the mind, eyes which are going very disturbed, those ears, हाँ क्या बोला क्या बोला क्या बोला, अरे देव से बोला ही नहीं तो क्यों तू नाक डाल रहे हो बीच में. Two people are talking, what did you say, what did you say, what is your concern? You watch your breath. If the breath is going fast, the mind is also, thoughts are going fast. If the breath is slow, mind is slow. That was our meditation last week or the week before. So dhriti is the perseverance where we do not get excited too much or depressed too much, but maintain a continuous involvement towards the destination, and that the movement, conviction was in the buddhi, but now the mind and the senses and the pranas are where the action is taking place. Manasa, vacha, kaya, or senses. So that action, it should it should mirror the conviction. It should be helping the one to get to that point, isn't it? But if mind is distracted, agitated, breath will be excited or agitated, then you will get tired very quickly. When the breath and the mind are agitated or distracted, then senses are also like that. Such people are continuously moving their leg, or continuously scratching like a monkey here and there for nothing. Not for nothing, it's all irritation from inside. It is not outside. You can blame the world as much as you want, but the whole world is in your mind. Just like in the dream. And something deep inside your mind, some wrong conclusion in your mind, some regret, some expectation, some anxiety, some incompleteness is bringing about this agitation at the mind, breath and the senses level. See, desires, where do the desires appear? They appear in the mind, isn't it? To follow that desire or not to follow that desire, whose job is it? Who makes the decision? The intellect makes the decision, isn't it? So after you have made the decision that you want to reach a particular destination, and other desires which are not conducive to that conviction, to that destination which you have decided, if they are erupting in the mind, what is it that is going to keep you on the path till you reach the destination and not follow the desire? Is dhriti. Is dhriti. Dhriti से ही धरती है. You prod it, you dig it, you trample it. She is steadily taking care of everyone. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj says here, see in the previous verse also, Krishna Bhagwan suddenly says, "O Arjuna, but you are like the moon, you are bright, you are sattvic, you are not the tamasic type. But I have told you this tamasic buddhi also because you need to know not to fall into that trap." Now in the 733rd OV, Tari Udeliya Dinakaru चोरी सी थोके अंधारू का राजाज्ञा अव्यवहारू कुंठवी जेवी. नाना पवनाचा साटू वाजिनलिया नीटू आंगेसी वो भाटू सांडिती मेघ का अगस्तीचे निदर्शने सिंधू घेऊनी ठाती मौने चंद्रोदयी कमळवने मिठी देती. He says, when the sun rises, all darkness vanishes and all theft cease. And when the king so orders, all underhand dealings come to a stop. When a strong wind blows, all the clouds are swept out with their thunder. When a strong wind blows, all the clouds are swept out with their thunder. Or when the sage Agastya appears, the sea becomes calm. When the moon rises, all the day lotuses close. What does this mean? Someone explain to me what it is, what is being said here. Just one part. One or two feedbacks.
When sattvic buddhi rises, all the distractions are removed.
Okay. Anyone else? No one. डरते हो क्या आंसर करने से कि कहीं गलत ना हो जाए? फेंक देने का है, गलत होगा तो होगा और क्या. Anyway, so when the sun rises, all darkness vanishes and all theft ceases. Naturally, in front of light, darkness cannot stay. In front of your conviction, once you have become convinced with sattvic buddhi, you have decided that you are going to say our goal is self-realization, God realization. Then why do doubts come in our mind? Because of lack of conviction. We are not convinced. That convinced must be with faith. If it's not just by the way, because yeah, that's the right thing. Like someone says, I made him my guru. Someone made someone a guru. Someone made someone a guru. And they came and told me, Swamiji, I made that person my guru. I took mantra diksha from them and so and so. I said, very good. Now, please follow what they say. Then after 2 months, again they called me for Bhiksha. And then they said, Swamiji, that Swami from whom I took Diksha, I took initiation. I said, tell me one thing before you say ahead anything. I don't know what you're going to say. Did you go to him or did he call you? Did he ask you to take initiation? No. Did you go and offer yourself that I want initiation? Yes. Now you tell. That fellow eats meat. That fellow eats meat. Now what should I do? I said, why did you go there? to check out what he is eating or not eating? Or you went there because of the knowledge that he has, because of the elderly person that he is, the wise that he is. So if someone is smoking, you will not go to that. So we have, हिंदी में बोलते हैं, if you have given your head into the tiger's mouth, be ready to be chewed. Be ready to be chewed. So if you have decided any decision, taken any decision in life, then be ready for the consequence of it. I don't know. After that, they didn't call me for bhiksha, so I don't know. This fellow is dangerous. He puts all the buck back into our pocket. You are responsible. Yes, you are responsible. How long you'll keep running from pillar to post and think that by their touch, by their words, by their thing, things will work out for us in our life. For some time they will. For some time they will. But true teacher will never make you dependent on him or her. उसके बाद पहले तो बहुत प्यार, my darling, you are the best, you see how wonderful she sings, see how wonderful she does yoga, see how wonderful she chants. And then after a few years, फिर डंडा पड़ना शुरू होता है. You are making mistake in that chanting there, you are making mistake in that yoga there. So that familiarity was, the Guru Maharaj, the teacher, comes down to your level only to raise you up. But because he has come down, you become familiar, and then familiarity breeds contempt. This is problem everywhere. We have to be very clear. What is the purpose of our life? And then we must stick to the chart a path for yourself. If you don't know the path, become available to the path. Are you here to be stuck to a Guru Maharaj? No, you get the information, you get the knowledge, you get the satsang from n number of Mahatmas. YouTube is full of them, isn't it? We have never asked, no Guru asks that you come and be only dedicated to me. If someone asks, run away from that Guru very far, quickly. Why? First thing is, and if you do run away, means you did not have faith in that Guru in the first place. Or second, if you do stay there, then don't badmouth that Mahatma. So, in 2 months, you have taken a mantra from a Guru. In 2 months, you have already started finding faults in that Guru Maharaj from whom you took mantra. How will you improve yourself? Is our job to judge, or is our purpose is to improve ourselves? So very, very important. Whatever you do in your life, always you have to make a decision. So never remain without decision. A wrong decision is better than no decision. A wrong decision is better than no decision. A wrong decision can be corrected, but no decision keeps you in the gray area, will lead to depression. So when the sun rises, all darkness vanishes, meaning all desires vanish. When conviction is pure, when conviction is sattvic, when the commitment to the cause is final and perfect, and you are ready to walk the path, when you are ready to walk the path. And all thefts, all darkness vanishes and all theft cease. What is the theft going on inside us? What is the theft going on inside us?
Senses.
Yes, the world is stealing us away through our senses. The desires are stealing us away, taking us away from ourselves into the world of sensory stimuli. That is the theft. But once we have become convinced that I have to take the name of the Lord so many times in the day, every day I must begin the day with some study of the Bhagavad verses of Bhagavad Gita. I must go to sleep with the satsang or some verses of the Bhagavad Gita. When I am lying in the bed, I am going to go to sleep by chanting the name of the Lord, so that I get up in the morning also chanting the name of the Lord. This is commitment. Then you have to follow it through. No, following through is dhriti. Only commitment is not enough. Now you have to walk it. Now you have to walk it. बोलते हैं ना, walk your talk. You have to walk the path now. And when the king so orders, all underhand dealings come to a stop. So when the king orders, who is the king? Intellect is the king. Intellect says, stop. No more messing around in unwanted avenues. Who is he telling? He is telling the senses, he is telling the breath, he is telling the mind. So mind's job is to keep throwing up desires. The intellect says, hey, enough of it. So you are sitting here, a call comes from your darling child. Do you pick it up, or do you say, cut it off and leave it? If you cut it off, your buddhi was clear in what its purpose is at this moment, what it needs to pursue, that it should not get distracted, commitment to the cause. But if you pick it up, no, I don't know, maybe something important. Important will be if they call 3, 4, 5 times, then it is important. Till then it is not important. But in mother's heart, no, my child is calling. What are you saying? What is it? My baby is having vomiting. What is the problem? I am in a satsang right now. Mummy, but my baby, you gave birth to the baby, you work it out, go to a doctor. Why you are troubling me when I am in satsang? Then the first casualty is satsang. First casualty is your japa. First casualty is your sadhana. Don't fall into this trap. This happens only because the king is not strong. King is the buddhi. Remember, we have this, I think I told you last week, or I can't remember, but the chariot of Arjuna, the place where Krishna is sitting, the chariot here, is the place of the intellect. The mind are the reins, the horses are the senses. Arjuna is the jiva, the ego, or the individual. The chariot is the body. Is our intellect dedicated to the divine? Because who can control the mind and the pranas and the senses? Who can control? They are very powerful, isn't it? So you need someone who's more powerful than them to control them. And who is the more powerful than the senses are the pranas. More powerful than the pranas is the mind. More powerful than the mind is the intellect. So from there, this is at the empirical level, at the functional level. So how do you, if the intellect is tamasic, if the intellect or buddhi is tamasic, then wrong understanding. If buddhi is sattvic, then correct understanding, right understanding, discriminate properly. You understand? So choose wisely. Who will tell you this? Now what I just told you, do these lines, when the sun rises all darkness vanishes and all theft cease, and when the king so orders all underhand dealings come to a stop. Last 10 minutes I am going on and on and on. Are all these examples and words given in these two lines? Could you by yourself have come to this understanding for last 10 minutes that is being conveyed to you? This is the importance of a satsang. This is the importance of a satsang. Preferably with Shrotriya Brahmanisht, a saint or a sage. If not, someone who is in the parampara, who has got no axe to grind in this world. But never study scriptures on your own. Never. Then what do we do on our own? Do japa. Do yama, practice yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Do all those things. But as regards study of scriptures, one must only hear. See? When a strong wind blows, all the clouds are swept out with their thunder. So when the strong conviction is there, commitment to the cause is there, then for such a person, there are no perceived obstacles only. If the commitment to the cause is there, look at Nelson Mandela, you all heard of him. You look at Gandhiji, you look at Martin Luther King. Nelson Mandela, for 27 years he was put behind bars. But eventually he was instrumental in the freedom of South Africa. How many times Gandhiji went into the jail? But non-violence. His purpose, his conviction was non-violence. And eventually we got independence, isn't it? So what are the convictions with which we are living our life? Yes, that is true. I want to realize. But you have to, throughout your life, you have to keep making decisions. In relationship, you have to make decisions. In business, you have to make decisions. Without decisions, your life will not move. Man is what his convictions are. You understand? So choose the right convictions. And when we come and expose ourselves to satsangs, or to Bhagavad Gita, to Ramayana, to Amrit Anubhav, keep re-evaluating yourself and keep raising the bar of your convictions. Otherwise, yeah, that was wonderful, but you are still stuck in the conviction. What is that conviction? How beautiful I am when I am in front of the mirror. अभी तक वो खुजली गई नहीं. Have I lost weight today? How am I looking today? keep raising your bar every day, every moment. You it's not that world is going to say, but we have to keep raising ourselves. And what is that raising ourselves? That is this dhriti, that we stay the path which is going to take us to the ultimate happiness. For that, conviction is one thing. If, I given you this example many times. Someone says, I have taken a decision. What is the decision? I want to take part in the Olympics. Oh, really? You want to take part in the Olympics? What do you want to do? I want to be a weightlifter who gets gold medal in 500 kg weightlifting. And what are you? Matchstick brand. Now you have made the decision. Very good. You are convinced, yes. Now, you go and meet him after 1 week because you was all excited and ready and had a party that I have made this decision I am going to do. After 1 week, he is nicely sleeping in the bed till 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon, eating whatever he wants, watching the TV. After 1 month, still doing the same. Olympics in 1-2 years time. Is he going to be even get selected? He has to walk the path then, no? Or when the sage Agastya Sirus appears, the sea becomes calm. The moon. So Agastya here it says is Cirrus clouds or Sirius constellation appears. The sea becomes calm automatically. So, if your intellect is, you have made a decision that I want to reach that goal of God realization, self realization, that is already my essence, and I must remain calm, samatva, under all sets of circumstances that life throws at me. That life throws at me. Now next, someone just called me today. मेरे सारे एग्जाम्पल मेरे पास आते हैं. मैं कहा हाँ हेलो हाँ ओके स्वामी जी please bless me. I just come out of the hospital. What happened? No, I got one stent 16 mm, another stent 15 mm, third stent 12 mm. I said ये क्या है ये 12 mm ये वो नहीं stent क्या हो गया था? My heart was aching. My heart was paining. Why heart was paining? अब मैंने गलती कर दी यार क्वेश्चन पूछ के. Swamiji, in 1 month, my brother died, my mother died, my sister died. And for 90 days, I was only doing last rites online. And it was so stressful. I said, you are stupid to be stressed. You should be free. नहीं नहीं ऐसे कैसे बोलते? अच्छा मैंने कहा नहीं बोलते. तो क्या बोलेंगे फिर? I was trying to have a light moment for him, so he smiles, but instead he wants to be serious. So good luck to you, man. So self-imposed mental trauma, and the repercussions are heartache. But why did it happen? I say, देखो, तू भी जाने वाला एक दिन. Every person is going to go. So the earlier you accept that anything that has come into this world has to go one day, nobody knows when. तू बच गया गलती से. वो डॉक्टर अच्छा था 3 स्टेंट दे दिए. But you have got no guarantee. Yeah, Swamiji, there is no guarantee. I am on borrowed time. I said, good luck, enjoy. Don't be depressed. But we find ways and means to remain depressed. Why? We want attention. The ego wants attention. We are drowning in self-pity. Never get into that self-pity business. Poor me, मेरा हार्ट ऐसा हो गया, मेरे फैमिली में 3 डेथ्स हो गई एक बारी में. Can't you see the joke? Can't you see the principle that in life, which person is there whose parents have not passed away or grandparents have not passed away? Which person is there in this world today? If everyone has cried, so you have decided I am going to be one of everyone, I am also going to cry. Then you are Bewkoof. Learn the lesson and make correct decision. Correct decision is the purpose of life is not for relations and possessions. Purpose of life, be convinced, it is for self-realization while living, not after death. Because nobody knows what happens after death. At least nobody has come and told me yet. क्या टाइम हो गया? अभी है. And when the moon rises, all the day lotuses close. When the moon rises, that means when the conviction is bright and cool. The reason he said is moon. That means that intellect is cool. It is not on fire. It is not adamantine. But it's cool. That conviction is there, but it's a cool conviction. Then what happens? All the day lotuses. What are the day lotuses? All the thoughts, all the desires, they close. They die their own death or they become impotent. They don't show their hood. Because you are cool. But if you are emotional, any desire comes, immediately there will be a reaction, immediately there will be a some reaction from within. But if you are cool, if someone is born, samatvam yoga uchyate. If someone dies, samatvam yoga uchyate. If business is doing well, samatvam yoga uchyate. If business is not doing well, samatvam yoga uchyate. If wife gives you food, samatvam yoga uchyate. If wife does not give you food, samatvam yoga uchyate. Don't be disturbed. When you remain undisturbed, when you don't change decisions on the go, then the mind, breath, senses, they will all behave themselves. But if you keep flitting your decisions, your convictions of life, what is convictions of life? What is Jeev? What is Jagat? What is Ishwar? What is their relationship? Is there birth? Is there death? Is there past? Is there future? Come to the correct conclusion. They say dream. Well, in the dream I am experiencing it like a waking. But when I wake up, I forget the dream. But I don't go back to the same dream. How come I am going to the same waking every day? Assess. This is reflection, and come to the right conclusions. That right conclusion is there is nothing worth pursuing in this world or in this universe of change. If at all, I am the changeless one. I must not go after that which is changing, because I will never be fulfilled. Continuing in the 736th OV. हे असो पावो उचलिला मदमुख न ठेविती खाला गर्जोनी पुढा झाला सिंहू जरी तैसा जो धीरू उठलिया अंतरू मनादिके व्यापारू सांडिती उभी इंद्रिया विषयांची आगाठी अपैसया सुटती किरीटी मन मायेच्या पोटी रिगती दाही अधोर्ध्व गुढे काढी प्राण नवांची पेडी बांधोनी घाली उडी मध्यमे माझी संकल्प विकल्पांचे लुगडे सांडूनी मन उघडे बुद्धी मागिले कडे उगीची वैसे बैसे. He says, when an elephant in rut comes face to face with a roaring lion, he forgets to put his foot down, which he had raised to attack an enemy. So when the sattvic steadiness rises in the heart, all the activities of the mind, life breath and senses come to a stop. ये पकड़ लो एक बार, catch it. When the sattvic steadiness rises in the heart, when this condition comes about, steadiness of purpose comes about, then the mind follows, the mind becomes steady, the breath becomes steady, the senses become steady. You understand? So think in this manner. When we are doing yoga, mana, here because they are saying mana, prana and indriya. What is yoga? Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Where is dharana done? Where is dharana done? In the mind. Where is dhyana done? In the mind. Where is samadhi? It is also of the mind, isn't it? Now, that is the phala. That will be the conclusion. What has got you there? When we are practicing yama, are we doing yama, means interacting with the world in such a manner that our mind is calm and focused on the goal that we have decided for ourselves? Are we practicing the niyama? Is our interaction with ourselves, are our habits conducive to bring about a calm mind which then is able to contemplate in dharana, dhyan, samadhi? Are we doing asana in such a manner that it is conducive to dharana, dhyan, samadhi? Are we doing pranayam in such a manner that it is conducive to dharana, dhyan, samadhi? Are we practicing pratyahar in such a manner that it is conducive to dharana, dhyan, samadhi? Just like a young family, once the child is born, all their activities are, I am doing it for my child. Arey yaar, that child is now 30, 40 years old, he is having his own business, he is having his own career. What, I am going to leave a legacy for my children? वो क्या बुद्धू है क्या? He is a grown-up person, and you want to leave something behind for them. Let them struggle through life. Let them make their own life. But this is the excuse. The problem is the desire in our mind. We superimpose it on our child. But we want to make more money. We want to get involved. We want to be useful. We can't stop. So we need an avenue. I am doing it for my children. They didn't ask you. They didn't ask you. I am doing it for the society. Society didn't ask you. I am doing social work. Has society asked you to become a social worker? No, it is your itch. You want to impose your ideas on the society. That's why you are becoming a social worker. I am giving lecture because it is my itch. You don't need it. Simple. It's not one rule for them and one rule for me. No, it's the same rule. Think. So, when we are interacting with the world, when we are interacting with ourselves, when we are sitting, when we are speaking, when we are thinking, when we are reflecting, when we are doing japa, when we are doing whatever, something we are doing all the time. Is it conducive to dharana, dhan, samadhi? Is our mind steady? Because when you begin dharana, mind is fluctuating. Your focus is fluctuating. When it becomes steady, when dharana becomes steady, it leads to dhyana. When dhyan becomes steady and for long period, it leads to samadhi. You know that, isn't it? So why are we doing this practice on a daily basis? Oh, then you will be able to assess, are we going in the right direction? Then where is the mistake? Why is it not happening? The problem is not dharana, dhyan, samadhi. The problem is yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar. Oh, but my mind keeps going out of the senses, then problem is not pratyahar. Problem is yama, niyama. You're not learned how to interact with the world. You're still reacting to the world. You're still clicked into the world. Your clutch is on. Dhriti we are talking about. So when the sattvic steadiness rises in the heart, all the activities of the mind, life, breath and senses come to a stop. Means they stop. They are not agitating. They don't get distracted. There is a commitment of purpose. They are focused on where the senses are. See, a person, when he is running 100 meters, you saw in the Olympics, they are focused, man. On your marks, get set. He has practiced so much. He is there. It's his moment to win or lose, to reach the destination or not. On your marks, his mind is absolutely empty. He can't have doubt at that moment. And he has trained enough. The moment the gun goes, he shoots out from that point where he is standing. He can't be worried too much how the other one is running, how he is running, and get excited and anxious. Oh, he's going ahead of me. My God, I think I will lose. If he thinks like this, he will never reach the destination. And I'm not saying that these thoughts must not be coming to that person's mind. But a prepared mind, if the dhriti perseverance, in spite of those thoughts, it's able to pierce through those thoughts. It does not allow those thoughts to come and interfere in his journey to the destination. Just like you negotiate your car through the traffic to reach the destination. You understand? So when we have become convinced, our heart is ready for it, then automatically the mind, the breath, they calm down. The mind does not give run after options because you are convinced. If mind is not running after options, then senses also will not, because mind only alone is expressing through the senses, isn't it? So eyes are seeing. A person who is giving year 12 exam, he is looking at everything, but he is focused on his studies, isn't it? When you are in a movie theater, a beautiful movie is going on with some whatever the plot, and you are watching it like this, you forget to blink also. But so many people are around. This is where Arjuna lost the plot at the beginning. He was very clear that the fighting had to happen. The war was, because it was all discussed among the Panch Pandavas and all the other kings and Krishna. How come he had an identity crisis when he came in the middle of the army, two armies? He was convinced that war is the only way out. They need to be taught a lesson because they only declared the war against the Pandavas. Then why did he have an identity crisis? Mind, breath, senses, not under control. Conviction was there, but it was not 100%. See? हो गया time. We'll take it from here in our where are we? 7:37 onwards we'll take it in our next class. ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ